Lost at Sea, a personal narrative by Melody Mirabal. When I moved to Miami from New Jersey, I met for the first time my cousin Lola. She was the same age as me and just as much trouble. We got along perfectly. This story takes place several months after I first met my cousin Lola. It was the summer of 2001. I had just finished the 3rd grade and I was excited to enjoy my first summer in Miami. My family and my cousin's family decided to go to the Air and Sea Show in South Beach. Lola and I were ecstatic. We packed every single beach toy we owned into 2 huge garbage bags. We each took one bag over our shoulders and stuffed them into our parents' cars. When we arrived to the beach and parked our cars, the men, our fathers, and Lola's 2 older brothers, took the 2 huge coolers, and the women, our mothers and my older sister, grabbed the beach bags filled with food, sunscreen, towels, and everything else you think you need at the beach, but really don't. And Lola and I grabbed our toys. The men led our group through the enormous crowds that scattered all around us. The women right behind them, and my cousin and I last. We walked for a good bit looking for a good spot big enough for our group. This, of course, was taking a while because the beach was so packed you could barely see the sand through people's towels laying on the ground. At one point, Lola and I got pretty tired and stopped for a few seconds. Seriously, it was only about 5 seconds, to switch the bags from one shoulder to the other. When we looked back up to catch up to our group, they were gone. Full panic entered my stomach as I looked in the crowd, praying that I would spot my father's bald head. Nothing. Imagine 2 little girls frozen in the middle of a swarm of people. Lola and I moved our stuff over to the sidewalk that ran between the main road and the beach. We just stood there, thinking our parents would immediately notice and go back and find us if we just stayed in one spot. After a few minutes of standing on our tiptoes, trying to find a familiar face, we decided to go and look for them. As we walked in the direction that we last saw our family go, we spotted a policeman leaning on a motorcycle. We decided to go for him for help. Lola and I debated who was going to do the talking, because neither of us wanted to. After a quick rock, paper, scissors battle, it was clear it would be me. We approached the intimidating cop and I blurted out, "Our parents are lost and we can't find them." "Are your parents lost, or are you lost?" asked the policeman. Lola and I looked at each other and back at the policeman. "Our parents," we said in unison. He gave a little chuckle and politely offered to help find them. He led us to what I call the Lost Children's Tent. There was a tent next to the police trailers that had a few volunteers to help watch kids who had separated from their families. Lola and I thought we hit the jackpot. They had 2 huge TVs with movies playing, tons of snacks and candy, and the volunteers were so nice. We were only there for about 30 minutes before one of Lola's older brothers and my sister walked in looking for us. I guess the look of disappointment was obvious on our faces because the first thing my sister said was, "You don't look so happy to see us." We made it back to our parents. As we approached them, we could see our father's face was full of anger and our mother's sick with worry. Lola's mom was taking turns fanning herself and my mother as they both sat thinking the worst had happened to us. Our parents didn't keep us more than 2 feet away from them for the rest of the day. Thankfully, our little adventure didn't ruin the day and everyone was able to enjoy the show and the activity.